your boy Pass Catcher with the Week 3 matchups. We're gonna kick this Week 3 off with Browns versus Jets. So let's check out some statistics so we can know what we're working with. Last week, the Browns. Let's go team schedule. The Browns lost against the Saints last week. Let's see here. Baker Mayfield played an awesome game, 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks against the Saints. Even though they lost, but he still played a phenomenal game. Duke Johnson didn't do much. Kendall Wright, Jarvis Landry, he did his thing last week. So right now, the Browns are sitting at 1-1. And then let's go take a look at the Jets' previous game. They lost that game 42-16 against Miami. So let's take a look at some stats. Sam Darnold, 3 picks, 261 yards passing. Just had a rough day in the office. Rushing, didn't do anything. Receiving, really didn't do much. So that's what we're working with this week. Let's also look at the season leaders for that team, for the Browns. Let's see, let's check some stats out. And we'll go to player stats. So on the season, Baker Mayfield 591 passing yards, completing 70% as a rookie. That's pretty great. And then 5 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's playing an awesome season. Rushing right now, Duke Johnson. Rushing is not going well for the Browns right now, but we got Jarvis Landry, 9 catches, 173 yards, averaging 86 yards a game, and averaging 19.2 yards a catch. So that's, and then 4 touchdowns. He's doing good. So nevertheless, you got Kendall Wright, Cordell Patterson, David Njoku. So you got some good things going on here. So let's go ahead and get this game started, man. And hopefully you guys, let's look at the Jets too. Let's see here. Before we start the game, I want to, go over the injury reports just to get you guys up to date too. 266 yards passing, yards per game. Their offense is alright, I guess. I don't know. No go-to receivers whatsoever. So, but let's go take a look at some injury reports before we get this game started. Just to start off Week 3, let's look at these injuries. Let's go to injury report. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with the Bears. Work our way down. Let's start by overall the important people. Dennis Trevathan and Zach Miller still out. Oops. Bengals, nobody important. Bills, nobody really important. Emmanuel Sanders out 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Dislocated elbow. Quan Alexander, 1 week broken ribs. Mitch Unring for 17. Cardinals, nobody. Hunter Henry, complete ACL tear. Won't be back till next year. He's a good tight end. I like that guy. Travis Benjamin, Jason Everett, Achilles tear, 44. Wow. So they got like 3 big players out for the Chargers, Chiefs. Nobody important. Nobody important. Nobody important. Nobody important. Nobody important. Deion Jones, compound foot fracture, 11 weeks. Keanu Neal, it's another one, complete ACL tear. So they got 2 key people out for the year. And then Jake Matthews, knee cartilage tear. They got Jared McKinnon out, of course. Broken hand, Dalvin Tomlinson. Miles Jack out. He got 2 more weeks left. Marquise Lee's out for the whole year. That's a spring, 2 more weeks to go. Lions, nobody important. Packers, Mercedes Lewis, knee cartilage tear. Panthers, Darrell Williams. Rob Gronkowski got 2 more weeks left and he's back. Same thing with James White, he's out 2 more weeks and he's back. Bruce Irvin is out. Important. Cam Chancellor fractured hip, 6 weeks. Ben Roethlisberger. Richard this out 6 more weeks. Probably won't be back until week, let's say week what, 9, 10. Broken tailbone out for 9 weeks. Dislocated ankle. He's gonna be out for 3 more weeks. Andre Hall out 21 weeks with torn pectoral. He's out for the whole season. Lamar Miller gonna be out 6 more weeks. Delaney Walker's out for the season. Jonathan Cyprien out for the whole season. Tavius Murray be back in 3 more weeks with a dislocated elbow. And that's it for the injury. So let's go ahead and get started with this Browns game. Every time we start the week, we'll go over injuries just to, be up on the up and up. And then what I'll start doing now is, players ready to negotiate for each team. I'm not going to sign Tyrod Taylor. Realistically, they wouldn't sign a guy that, is going to demand a lot of money, especially when they got a good quarterback. EJ Gaines, he's 26 years old. He's a cornerback. But when we get to week 5, we'll negotiate. We'll start negotiating with these teams, all these user teams that I'm playing with, So let's go ahead and play this season game. Skip. Play offense only. Pants. All brown. Let's do that. Let's go, Baker.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the New York Jets and their rookie quarterback from USC, Sam Darnold, as they get set to match up with the #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the Cleveland Browns.
So rookie versus rookie, I'm about to tune out, guys. See you guys after the game.
Coming up on Sunday, but for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that
Nothing on the scoreboard, 0-0 as the offense gets ready to take over the football. The first carry for a former 49er and also a former Buckeye. It's Carlos Hyde. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And the numbers from a week ago for Jarvis Landry. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
And right with it here, over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The Jets and Browns, 2 cellar dwellers from a year ago, and they did meet in that season, Week 5 in Cleveland. Myles Garrett, it was his NFL debut. He got 2 sacks, but it was former Brown Josh McCown throwing 2 second-half touchdown passes to lead the Jets to the victory. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his... So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Being chased out left. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They'll run it. Here's high, and he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Going back to Landry. This time he's got him complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 0-0 our score. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. A first down throw from Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Mayfield on play action. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. And we drop you in at the start of this next possession in a 3-0 ball game. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaching.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside. So second quarter, this offense losing and hoping to get the football in the end zone for the first time. The Browns offense trotting back on the field. Now Mayfield. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Landry that time, and now it's third down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And the Browns getting set to go. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Baker Mayfield, obviously the #1 pick overall. That was controversial, though. What ultimately made the Browns go in his way?
Well, post-draft, I did hear a Browns executive talk about the efficacy of Baker Mayfield. In other words, how people rally to him, how people respond to him. He talked about seeing him at a workout, how he showed up, yelled out to the other guys. They yelled back with the same response, ran right to him, and they were ready to start the workout. He said things like that and his talent tipped the balance in his favor to go #1.
Mayfield now to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 24. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he loses the football a second time, and the Jets have recovered. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. Mayfield on first down. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. And his guys are going. This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the third quarter. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Throwing, Mayfield. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because We often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Second down, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was
under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Taylor on third down, throws incomplete. Now the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yeah. So they surrendered 3 points, and now after the kickoff, this offense gets ready to take over the football. Now Taylor on first down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Taylor underneath for Johnson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. So now this offense will take over, and they will have the football at their own 20-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Taylor now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Taylor. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And his throw here's incomplete. Landry the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Pass interference, defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. Always got some breathing room. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Trying to get it to Landry there. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. A couple of recent pickups. Taylor finding Landry for the Cleveland first down. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Got his man complete over the middle. That's right. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it with Johnson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Taylor. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Taylor will lead up the offense 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. To throw is Taylor. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. And it's the linebacker, Shea McClellan, with a pick. And he returns it here to his own 8. Now following the field goal, what can this offense do? We're about to find out. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. From the red zone now, here's Taylor on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Darryl Roberts right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Now Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now Taylor. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it.
Horrible game. I don't even want to look at the stats. He was horrible. Let's take a look at him. Baker Mayfield got hurt, and he did piss poor. So 13 to 21. I mean, 5 total interceptions and fumbles. And just a horrible game. Look at that. Jarvis Landry and David Njoku did their thing, but still lost the game. Horrible. Look at this. Let's look to see who's up on the week 3 schedule next. We'll be playing with the Falcons next game.